Canada, and I don't think so at all.
Story from last night, goaltender interference at the World Junior Championship. This is interesting to see. A daily sports podcast by me, Nick. It's on YouTube also. Thank you. Thank you. Canada wins the World Junior semifinal. They will play Czechia in the championship. The USA had 2 goals disallowed due to goaltender interference. One was maybe goaltender interference. One definitely wasn't. And so the fight online today is about how bad the reversals were. The game was in Canada, of course. And the Canadians benefited from 2, frankly, bullshit overturns. So Canadians are in a tough spot today because they want to talk shit on Americans, but Americans have them in a bind by calling them soft for considering that goaltender interference. So Canadians either have to defend soft officiating or talk shit on Americans, which makes this kind of funny. Canada and Czechia, it's kind of a big deal, but hockey will never be good until juniors is not a really big deal, and college hockey is a bigger deal. So don't know to tell you, that's just a fact. Until these people play college, hockey will never be as big a sport as other sports in the world. So the juniors are really fun and cool thing, but also proof that hockey has a long way to go to become like a real sport that people care about. I do, but I mean, the national championship is more important than this. This World Juniors is stupid. I don't care. Okay, so that's just my opinion. Also yesterday, Shannon Sharp, who took a day off after the Damar Hamlin tragedy. What is a tragedy? We'll call it a cardiac arrest, which is what it was. It's not a tragedy yet. The shocking Damar Hamlin cardiac arrest that happened on Monday night. Skip Bayless tweets on Monday night about the game. It was considered insensitive. I don't know if it was that insensitive. Remember we talked about it. People were upset about it. It was kind of weird. Shannon Sharp takes Tuesday off and then returns on Wednesday, and the show breaks down. During his opening monologue, Skip interrupted, and we wanted to just clarify some things, and then it sounded like no one was in charge here.
Go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought,
Skip, just let me.
I didn't know you were going to bring up
No,
this.
I was just going to say, Skip, I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations, so clearly somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
He's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's just go through the show. Yeah, Skip's a bad person. I don't know. This is bait, right? I mean, Shannon doesn't understand that he's being used for content, which is what's happening. I don't know. Who cares? I've never watched those shows because they're stupid, and yeah, they're terrible. They're faking it. There is no such thing as sports journalism. There's no such thing as sports debate because you just watch the game and then you'll know what happened. So, I've never watched those shows. That's just my opinion. But that's what people are talking about. Had this happened yesterday, Darren Ravel, who is another sports douchebag, reported on December 31st that TCU did not sell out of its allotment of national championship game tickets. Then Jeremiah Donati, who is a athletics director for TCU, said, was ironically just in our ticket office and confirmed we sold out our allotment of well over 5,000 ticket requests we couldn't fill. Feel free to contact me directly in the future, Darren, with your questions. And then Darren replies, oh, wait, did he delete his reply? He had a reply. He must have deleted it. Oh, no, Darren, did you delete it? There it is. Okay, here's his reply. With all due respect, Jeremiah, your own school said before the semis that all ticket requests were fulfilled and there were still seats available. I know of multiple non-affiliated people who bought tickets through TCU. After you won, you sold out. Different timeline. Yeah, Darren Ravel's a douchebag. He used to work for ESPN, I guess. I don't know what he does now. He claims to do sports business, but he's really just like a tool. I don't really know. We know that President Biden has spoken with Damar Hamlin at length, and normally I'd be like, what's the president? I mean, that's a really cool thing, and as the president, you got to take care of issues and blah, blah, blah. But then what's going on with the House of Representatives doesn't have a leader, so there's really nothing else going on for the president. There's no governing to do because we don't have Congress, which is, I suppose, a different kind of thing. Okay, so we missed this on Controversial Wednesday, so we're going to talk about it now. The United States men's soccer team. Remember we talked about Gio Reyna and how his father was a really big deal for the men's national team. Gio Reyna was the kid that wasn't getting playing time. Then it was like, well, you're going to have to leave if you have a bad attitude. Greg Berhalter, the coach, was like, you're going to have to leave. And then the parents didn't like Greg Berhalter, and they've been friends forever, but now they don't like him because their kid's not playing. And the kid is supposed to be really good, but he's also kind of a tool. He's 19. Which is, I mean, all of this drama is crazy because Berhalter is a garbage coach. Garbage, just garbage. The U.S. men's soccer team is a joke. The MLS is a joke. I mean, it is what it is. Gio Reyna plays in Europe somewhere, and now there are allegations from the early 90s that Greg Berhalter was physically violent with his then-girlfriend, now wife. There were also allegations on the internet that people were extorting or blackmailing Greg Berhalter, the head coach of the soccer team. It comes out that the allegations were made by Gio Reyna's mom, who I guess was friends with the girlfriend at the time, and Berhalter, who was either roommates or friends with Reyna. So what it looks like a lot is that the kid was bullied by a coach, and now they're spreading this information or making allegations decades later because their kid didn't get any playing time. That being said, weirdly, I believe the allegations. I also think that they're being made because the kid didn't get any playing time. I also think that the kid not getting playing time shows how stupid the coach is. All of that, I think, is true. I think every single angle that you look at the situation, I think my gut feeling is that it is all 100% true. Did he get physically violent with his girlfriend? I have no idea. It's a weirdly specific allegation. Did Gio Reyna act like a little bitch and beg for playing time and then didn't want to be a part of the team? Yep, definitely did that. Sounds like a 19-year-old hotshot to me. Did his parents throw a fit and get mad because they knew the coach and they are essentially more important to the history of United States men's soccer than Greg Berhalter? Yep. Does it seem like something that they would do? Yes. I mean, all of it seems true. Yay, soccer. America is just such a healthy place. It's a healthy situation in this country. Hey, Bobby Petrino, remember that guy that was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons and then just left in the middle of the night to go back to college and then got in a wreck while he was the head coach of Arkansas? He got in a wreck on a bike with a woman that he was having an affair with. Like that guy, then he went to Louisville and he essentially discovered / incubated Lamar Jackson, because Lamar Jackson probably didn't need him, but it does help out to have such a good coach. He's a brilliant coach, yeah, and then he leaves Louisville in the middle of the night. I have no idea actually where he's been. I don't really care. I know that he got into some trouble somewhere else. Well, yeah, now he's at Texas A&M, so that's cool. It makes total sense. It makes a ton of sense. NFL news from yesterday. Sauce Gardner is looking for a Damar Hamlin jersey. He would like to wear a Damar Hamlin jersey during warm-ups this week as the Jets play the Bills. I also see that Sam Howell, who was taken in the 5th round, one of the quarterbacks from the rookie class last year that was a lackluster rookie class, is going to make his first NFL start this season. Why not? It's week 18. Washington's been eliminated. It doesn't really matter. So, I mean, you might as well use the week to accomplish anything, right? I mean, I am in complete alignment there. And as a result of that, I think that it's going to be fun to watch them this week. And as a Lions fan of the game being flexed to the evening, I have something to watch. I need something to watch in the 1 p.m. window. So we're going to break down the NFL preview over the weekend and what needs to happen for what. There are 2 big playoff spots on the line. There are 3, I think, total playoff spots on the line. Essentially, the AFC South division is playing its championship. That game is on Saturday night. Sunday night, Detroit is playing Green Bay. If Green Bay wins, they're going to the playoffs. If the Lions win, then either they're going to the playoffs or the Seahawks are going to the playoffs. If the Seahawks are going to the playoffs, they need to beat LA, the Rams, and they need Detroit to win. Seahawks fans are, of course, up in arms about this because they're like, well, if we win, then Detroit has no incentive to try. False. Have you ever met Aaron Rodgers? Have you ever heard of him? There's plenty of incentive to try. So much incentive. Actually, I think that if the Seahawks win and eliminate Detroit, I think there's no question that Detroit will beat Green Bay. Not because of an SOL, same old Lions kind of thing, but just because then you're playing loose, nothing to lose. The home team's going to get a little tight. It's going to get a little weird. I mean, I think I absolutely think that's what's going to happen. Kayvon Thibodeaux, of course, said he didn't know who Jeff Saturday was. When he said what he did with Nick Foles was tasteless.
When to do something. So once we figure out who the gatekeeper is, then we can write the rules and then we can establish, the narratives and things like that. But until, you guys actually are in the sport and do it and be in that moment, you can't create a narrative on it.
So what happened was they were like, hey, Jeff Saturday said this was trash and tasteless. And he's like, well, until you've been in the sport, you can't create a narrative. He's getting mad at the media. And they're like, wait, hold on, what?
Well, we're not creating a narrative on it. The other team's coach had a problem, and he's the guy who played the game. Their other team players
I don't
had
know
a
who
problem
he
with
is.
it.
No, I just don't know who, anybody who comments on it, unless I know who they are, doesn't really affect me.
So Trey Wingo, willing to help Kayvon Thibodeaux out, he said he's a 13-year veteran, Super Bowl 41 champion, 5-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, snapped for Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers after being undrafted. If you're lucky, you'll have his career. I'll be honest with Kayvon Thibodeaux. It's highly unlikely that he'll be as good at his position as Saturday was at his. Incredibly unlikely. This kind of douchebaggery is what people were afraid of when they drafted him, and now he's in New York. This will be part of his legacy forever. He'll never shake this. Not in New York. Oh, man. Shutting the fuck up is almost always the move in these situations. All right, back and better than ever tomorrow.